Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the fiscal year 2021 Food Safety Outreach Program webinar. I am Courtney Simmons at the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture. To get us started with today's webinar, I would like to provide a brief history and overview of the Food Safety Outreach Program. The Food Safety Outreach Program, commonly known as the FSOP, was created back in 2015 under a partnership between the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture, NIFA, and the FDA Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition. The two agencies partnered together to fund 4 regional centers with the purpose of providing food safety education, outreach, and technical assistance to specific audiences. The target audience includes small to medium-sized farms, beginning farmers, socially disadvantaged farmers, small processors, and small fresh fruit and vegetable merchant wholesalers. To the left of your screen, you see some of the FSOP highlights for fiscal year 2020. There were 24 awards made, and the map shows the dispersal of awards across regions. In 2021, NIFA will fund 2 different project types as well as 4 regional centers and will make approximately $9.6 million in awards. I will describe the different project types and the regional centers in a moment. The RFA is currently available, and this year's submission deadline is April 1st. You can access the RFA by going to grants.gov. And you can also access the funding opportunity number as well as the RFA by visiting the USDA NIFA FSOP webpage. In the RFA, you will find information about the FSOP's target audience. So as previously mentioned, the target audience is small to mid-sized farms, beginning farmers and ranchers, veteran farmers, socially disadvantaged farmers, and small fresh fruit and vegetable merchant wholesalers. It is up to you as the applicant to define or to describe the niche group that you are trying to reach. In addition to outlining and describing the target audience, the RFA also contains eligibility information. Eligible entities for the FSOP includes cooperative extension programs, community-based organizations that specifically represent or serve farmers, small food processors, as well as small fruit and veggie merchant wholesalers. Organizations must have a pre-existing relationship with the target audience and should have the capacity to provide food safety education and outreach. Other eligible entities include federal, state, local, and tribal agencies, as well as institutions of higher education. I briefly mentioned the different project types that NIFA will fund. So starting with the community outreach projects. The community outreach projects should support the development or expansion of new food safety education and outreach programs. Projects should build the capacity of local groups to identify specific food safety needs within communities. And community outreach projects should also implement customized food safety education and outreach programs to meet the needs of the target audience. Collaborative education and training projects should support the development of multi-county and multi-state programs. The projects should support collaborations across counties and states with similar food safety challenges. Potential applicants must have an existing relationship with the target audience and should have the capacity to develop and modify food safety training curricula to meet FSMA rules. The regional center projects should support the infrastructure of the program by coordinating information within and among the other regions to ensure that best practices for food safety and Food Safety Modernization Act related training, education, and technical assistance within local communities are translated to a national audience. Regional centers must partner with 1890s, 1994s, Alaskan and Hawaiian Native serving groups and institutions, Hispanic serving agriculture colleges and universities, as well as community-based organizations that serve socially disadvantaged populations. There must be an implementation plan that includes collaborations with community-based organization with an established track record of working with the target audience. Implementation plans must also address efforts to develop and modify food safety training curricula to meet FSMA rules for a variety of ag and processing systems. Implementation plans should also include a continuity plan to seamlessly coordinate with currently active regional centers. Here is a snapshot of the four currently funded regional centers. The Western Regional Center to Enhance Food Safety is at Oregon State University. The North Central Region Center for FSMA Training, Extension, and Technical Assistance is at Iowa State. The Northeast Center to Advance Food Safety is at the University of Vermont, and the Southern Center and the Lead Regional Coordination Center is at the University of Florida. All applications submitted to the FSOP will be evaluated in its entirety. The RFA provides the evaluation criteria that describes how the objectives, the methods, the key personnel and project management, and the budget and budget justification sections of the applications will be evaluated. Projects should justify specific food safety education and training needs and other resources for various target audiences within local communities. Projects should also support the establishment and/or expansion of new or already existing food safety education and training programs. Projects should also leverage partnerships with community-based organizations, extension programs, food hubs, farm cooperative, and other entities who typically work with owners and operators of small to medium-sized farms, beginning farmers, socially disadvantaged farmers, small processors, and small fresh fruit and veggie merchant wholesalers. The criteria used to assess the methods includes how well the project proposes to modify curricula to address traditionally underserved audiences, how well the project further develops and expands already existing community-based food safety education and training programs, how well the project develops a communication plan for interacting with respective regional centers, and how well the project describes a plan for evaluating the outcomes of the project. The criteria used to assess the management of the proposed project includes the roles and responsibilities of key personnel and project management. Which includes clearly defining the roles and responsibilities of key staff in the overall management of the project, developing a timeline that includes a benchmark for key activities that address the project objectives, identify key personnel responsible for collecting project outcome data and reporting project outcomes, as well as developing strong partnerships with those in the local communities. The criteria used to assess the proposed budget and budget justification includes, does the budget adequately support project activities that are consistent with the proposed objectives? Does the budget incorporate innovative approaches for making use of currently available resources within local communities? Does the budget allocate and justify resources to key personnel responsible for managing and conducting project activities. The Collaborative Education and Training Project should support collaboration across counties and states. For the sake of time, I will not repeat the information that I previously shared, but know that you can get this information directly from the RFA. One lead regional center will be selected. For those submitting applications for the lead regional center designation, you must also address the following criteria in addition to those previously mentioned. You must identify strategies to coordinate, communicate, and assess FSOP projects nationally. You must coordinate and communicate across NIFA and sister federal agencies. You must assess and review equivalent training curricula and identify successful alternative and add-on curricula. You must develop a system for tracking and reporting impact data on best practices. And you must also develop a continuity plan for communicating with the currently funded regional centers. So a few minutes ago, I mentioned the collaborative engagement supplement. So community outreach projects and collaborative education and training projects, applicants can pursue up to an additional $150,000 if the proposed project demonstrates significant partnerships with one or more of the following entities: 1890s, 1994s, insular areas, so groups in insular areas, groups and institutions in Alaska and Hawaii, Hispanic serving ag colleges and universities, as well as community-based organizations that serve socially disadvantaged groups. The partnerships should be reflected in the budget, the key personnel and objective sections. And before you can apply to the FSOP or for any federal funding, you need to confirm that your entity is registered with Grants.gov and the system for award management. I hear that getting registration with SAM can take up to a few months. So you definitely want to make sure that your organization is already registered. To begin the application process, you can go into grants.gov and you can use the funding opportunity in search, or you can click on search grants. To the left of your screen, you will see the different federal agencies. You find Department of Ag and NIFA. And to the right of your screen, you will see the different funding opportunities for this year. So the Food Safety Outreach Competitive Grants Program is what you are interested in. So you will click on that funding opportunity. And you will have the option to view the RFA and start your application. So one thing to note is you want to upload your application in its entirety. You definitely want to submit all of the critical documents for the application. And you also want to convert and make sure that your files are in PDF format. Any application that is submitted with Word documents will not be reviewed. And so this completes the FSOP webinar today. Again, thank you for your participation.